So let's join me and welcome Mr. Giulio Pezzulli to deliver his speech on the stage. Please.
Hello, hi everyone. My name's Giulio. I'm the head of DApp development at Caduceus Foundation. And today I'm going to be talking about, first of all, the road to building a DApp and all the pieces that you need to build one. Then I'll talk about how Caduceus makes that easier by providing certain toolkits and frameworks for you to use. And then we'll talk about how Caduceus is innovating and what we're building next with our V2 blockchain. So let's start with the typical application or decentralized application. In fact, first we'll start where it always begins, with a user. And a user will typically need to connect with a website or service. So, of course, you need some kind of authentication, which you can or you don't need, but most applications have it. And from here, you will have a kind of back end, right, that we all know. Now, this is just a simple Web 2 stack, doesn't involve any AI, any blockchain yet. And the blockchain gets involved at this bit, where you use the blockchain as some kind of state, global state. My clicker, there we go. And more importantly, it is used to store your assets, and then it is used to send your assets and execute securely. So you put your trust in the blockchain to guarantee execution under certain conditions and deliver a service, right? And you put your most critical infrastructure on the blockchain. And the blockchain talks to the back end, it talks to the front end, and this was the first generation of applications that were built, maybe when Ethereum came out. Everyone quickly realized that this was not enough, as to build real-world applications, you need real-world data. And to get real-world data in a sustainable but efficient and actually secure way, you need oracles, and you need oracle networks. This means that you get data from the real world, where it can be prices, it can be weather data, any kind of API out there. And to connect it with the blockchain in a secure way, in a decentralized way, you use an oracle network. The oracle networks will talk to your back end, it will talk to the blockchain, it can even talk to your front end, but generally speaking, its presence is crucial. And this is where AI models live. This is where data lives. And it's about getting the real world data onto the blockchain, which we'll talk about further. Now, of course, a blockchain is a network. It's a network of globally distributed nodes. And these nodes have hardware resources available. In fact, the Caduceus nodes have a CPU or multiple CPUs. They also have GPUs to provide rendering and consensus accelerating algorithms. And then they also have storage. Now, these resources are the backbone of absolutely everything out there. And it's about giving these resources and making them available to developers and to application builders. Right? You want to be able to have miners or node runners to be able to lend their resources when they're idle. And a lot of people are focusing on this. There are many people at this conference that do this, and it's very important to keep working on this. And this is part of the Caduceus long-term plan. And in fact, it is these resources that provide the backbone to any kind of metaverse, which Caduceus also looks into. With this access to GPU and CPU and storage, thanks to Caduceus's modular framework, we're able to give these resources to developers that have rendering requirements. To render a metaverse, a 3D world, a virtual world, you need a lot of GPU and a lot of work. And we provide, and are looking to provide, APIs to allow this. In fact, this will help enable not just the building of a metaverse, but multiple metaverses and multiple virtual worlds. And we're looking to be the backbone of this industry. Now, all of these resources have been developed at Caduceus or partnered with. And I'm just going to go through the kind of partners we have for you to build your application today and get started. So for authentication, you normally have various styles of authentication. You have connecting with your wallet, which we all know, like MetaMask. You have social logins, logging in with Google or LinkedIn with Web3 Auth. These are the more trendier solutions that allow for a much more seamless process. And then later down the line, you'll see decentralized identity, which we'll all take part in at some point. Of course, for website and backend development, you have all the classic development infrastructure, which Caduceus is compatible with, whether it be it SDKs or connecting to any kind of blockchain, JSON RPC. We're compatible, as we are EVM compatible. For real world data, we've actually partnered with Redstone oracles, who are a very innovative solution that allows for pretty much connecting with any kind of API, not just price feeds, but getting any kind of API through the Oracle network and getting reliable data in. Of course, there's other industries to look at, like how to integrate an AI and an LLM. For example, Open Fabric is a partner of ours, which allows talking to GPT-like models. So you can query directly with a GPT-like LLM and get a response on-chain. This is great for developers that want to build a tool with AI and blockchain at the same time. Then for the blockchain itself, we're, as I said, EVM compatible. We are compatible with all your latest tools like Hardhat, Truffle, Solidity for deploying smart contracts and writing smart contracts, verifying smart contracts. This is the typical stack you need to be a smart contract developer. For nodes itself, now, if you're a developer, you might want to run your own nodes, but realistically, you want to outsource. And for that, we've partnered with Now Nodes, which allows for public and private nodes, which are unthrottled, and also no restriction on IP and can be spun up relatively easily and cheaply. And lastly, not lastly, but second lastly, the metaverse. So there will be many metaverse clients, but we have one today called Light Cycle, which is partnered with us, which is here today. Go check out their booth. Of course, we can use Unity and Unreal 5 SDKs, and as I alluded, we will have the Metaverse API, which will allow this integration in a more smooth experience. And lastly, the network, we continue to strive to make it more globally distributed and more available. So when you take this application and you put it all together, it takes time. It takes time to build, and many developers go through this process, and so have we. So what we've done is we've packaged this solution in a way so that we can go ahead and give it to you when you're deploying on Caduceus. This will make your job much easier, as we've gone through a lot of the hard work to string together these components. For anyone who's looking to build and deploy on Caduceus, who wants a solution for various industries, you can come to us and we can help you get set up relatively quickly. In fact, what kind of solutions are we talking about? Well, we can integrate with our metaverse. So for example, we have our metaverse event solution where you can organize concerts, You can organize avatars or have NFTs, integrate fashion and brands, and deliver a digital, virtual, modern experience to your Web 2 clients or soon to be Web 3 clients. Secondly, we have a physical NFT solution. For example, one of our partners, which is here today as well, Hape, have partnered with Diesel, and it's been a very successful drop and brand awareness for the Diesel brand, where they've merged digital goods and assets with physical goods and assets, and that's something which we can bring to you again in a packaged solution. So don't hesitate to come to the Hape or the Caduceus booth if you're interested in engaging your audience with this. Lastly, we have starter kits. So for developers that need something a bit more custom, why not have a look and come to speak to us and see what you can use to get started, where we have authentication templates, we have contract templates, and we have back-end system templates. Don't hesitate to come talk to me directly over this, and we can help get you started. So let's talk a bit more about Caduceus, and more specifically our Caduceus version 2 consensus engine and protocol. Now, Caduceus is a fairly new blockchain, and we've deployed last year. We went live on mainnet, and we're looking at bringing out our V2 version, which will help power the next generation of metaverse applications. In fact, we are looking at delivering a very high TPS of 100,000. We've already achieved 30,000 TPS in our test networks, and we know how to get that even higher. We are a API provider for GPU rendering, so we've partnered with companies like Vertex, Vertex Network, which is also here today, to allow developers and metaverses to have access to GPU power. And this, with Caduceus, combines to what we call the Metaverse API, which will help streamline this process of spinning up resources, hardware-intensive resources, and then interacting with them and submitting transactions to the blockchain that deliver the service of your metaverse that you're looking for. Secondly, we are, as we said, EVM equivalent, but we also are integrating the eWASM virtual machine. This allows developers to program in their favorite languages. So if you write in Rust or C, this helps you write smart contracts in those languages, which is extremely useful for these developers that don't want to learn a new language. And lastly, thanks to our modular framework, we are looking at integrating LLMs and AI specifically for fine-tuning these models and making them accessible to companies that want to integrate AI and blockchain. For example, we might want to have a marketplace for data where not just any data, but data that has been used to fine-tune a specific AI. Now, you might not want to put the entirety of a GPT model onto the blockchain, as that will cost a lot of money. But instead, you can have the basic model and then add fine-tuned elements to it. Add your specific use case to the model. Therefore, you can host that on Caduceus and give that as a service to developers that want to use it, or use it yourself for your own applications. In fact, we imagine there will be many data marketplaces for fine-tuned large language models, and Caduceus wants to be at the forefront of this and provide an app store experience for fine-tuned models for the world to use. And these fine-tuned models will be distributed geographically along our nodes and partner nodes. And that's a future we can all be excited about, given the heavy use that we can all predict is coming. And lastly, an AI app store, which I alluded to just now, where you, instead of providing the raw fine-tuned model, you provide a service itself which uses these models and abstracts away the complexities to the user. So where are we now? Caduceus V1 is live. It's been live for a year. And we are fairly young and fairly small market cap. And you can get us on all of the, or most of the big exchanges like Bybit, BitGet, MEXC, Gate, KuCoin, and so on and so forth. You can also use us with all of your favorite wallets, from cold storage to hot storage to hardware storage, custody solutions. We are available on those platforms, and you can see them listed above. So you can have that custody security. Lastly, we have plenty of partners and plenty of ecosystem partners, over 100 building on our chain, which you can see on our website. They're building GameFi applications, they're building metaverse applications, they're dropping NFTs, physical and digital, and experimenting with the space, as we are a new chain and it's a new space. So if you're a developer, definitely get in touch, as there's plenty of people we can connect with you with. And we are a chain waiting to take off, as you can see by the rocket and the last bullet point. So if you are, and we're looking for partners, always looking for partners. If you are a marketing agency, an incubator, or VCs and investors, come speak to us, as we are always looking to help grow our pretty native or pretty young ecosystem. And lastly, where can you find us? So, as I said, my name is Giulio Pezzulli. I'm at the Caduceus booth near the entrance, and you can come speak to me anytime, and we can help advise for your project and get you up to speed. And that's how you spell my name, which has always been difficult for a lot of people. And that is my LinkedIn. If you want to connect directly with me, don't hesitate to scan that, and let's get in touch. We'll be here today and tomorrow, and can't wait to hear more about what you guys are building. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Grillo. And please be seated. Thank you so much.